Hi lads and lasses, Morten Åstad here with another video. In this video I will be tackling a bit of a thread which was started by Midge over at Midge's Gems. He's over there in Sheffield Way, and he's celebrating 1 year in the vinyl community or summit. Well, actually yes, indeed. I have been aware of Midge for a while now, and I enjoy his videos, I enjoy his knowledge, kunnskap as we say in Norwegian, and I enjoy obviously seeing what he has on offer. His humor, the way he does his videos is fun, and he does dive into his subjects in a great way, and he likes to wear hats. So, before I start showing records featuring hats, headwear, and various things, I want to do a shout out to me. I also wear hats. Someone noticed that? I don't know. Been a while. And of course I want to do a shout out to Lloyd, Mr. Hats, over there, down there in Western Australia, WA, and that's is he somewhere in Perth, or was it somewhere in Fremantle or thereabouts? Anyway, and I love Lloyd's videos, so I wanted to do a shout out to him, Mr. Hats, down there in good old Vegemite country. So was there any do's and don'ts? Well, show records with some sort of headgear, and he wanted us to show 5. I'm not going to do that because I am bored and I need something to do, so I'll be showing more. And there's a bonus in this as well, which is I don't know what the bonus will entail, but it's all about showing, maybe if you show a record with a wig. We'll see. Maybe I'll manage that. So I could have shown a couple of singles, 7 inches, but I restrained myself and only picked one. So this is the very fine, well, it was a debut single from, I suppose you could call it Paul McCartney's bit of a comeback album, Flowers in the Dirt. So this is My Brave Face. So there we are, Paul wearing a very iconic English headwear there. This is a good old bowler hat. So it was My Brave Face, and that was co-written with Elvis Costello, or McManus, which is of course how he titles, how he writes, who's written the song is Side 2 is Flying to My Home. Yeah, lovely. I remember I was so happy when this came out, because I felt that we hadn't heard from him in a while, and although I did love Press to Play, a lot of other people didn't. Next up, we are heading over to our friends Gorillaz. Our very real, not real friends Gorillaz. This is not actually one of their studio albums. This is G-Sides, which are of course remixes and such of the debut album. And we got Noodle there wearing some sort of helmet. And, 2D's got a helmet on as well, it looks like. And that is a cap, I think, yeah. There we go. Always love this cover. From one fake band to another. No, sorry, I didn't mean that. I know. I'm upsetting probably Chris and Jeff and a couple of other guys. This is the Monkeys with Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn and Jones Limited. And some of you thinking, what is this? There's no There's no hats on there. Well, it is on the German Hör zu issue. So there you are, guys. Some lovely hats there. The only one staying, so to speak, within his sort of lane is Mike there with his regular woolen hat. I love this cover. I was really happy to get this German pressing. Next, let's head on over to the Alan Parsons project with Eve. Got a couple of lasses here with some headwear on this fine album. I must admit, I do own most of Alan Parsons, on some on CD and some on vinyl, and a couple of overlaps, I think. But I must say, I never really known that much about. It's one of those where I'll just play this music and. Can you tell me something about the band? No, not really. I just enjoy listening to it. So there you are. Of course, I had to get my woolen hat back on for this next one, and that is Badly Drawn Boy, who, of course, is all about the woolen hat. So this is It's What I'm Thinking, which is I was very surprised when I found this, I remember. So nowhere near having collected all of Badly Drawn Boy. Guess I'm sort of halfway. And some of his stuff I don't even have on CD, but I really love his music. For this next one, I really should have worn a Norwegian cap. I was wearing one earlier today. Yeah, well, never mind. Because I want to show a record by a Norwegian artist. I guess I wouldn't call this a hat, but it is some kind of headwear. So this is Aurora. And Infections of a Different Kind. This is in volume. It's brand new albums and bad glue, by the way. Which number was this? Infections of a Different. Yeah, this is step 1, so this is number 1. She released 2 albums, more or less simultaneously, I think it was. So there we are. Aurora wearing some sort of head piece there. Easily one of my favorite bands in the world is In Excess. I love In Excess. However, on vinyl, they decided for one of their records to release different covers for the vinyl, for the CD, and for the old cassette there. And I have one of each. And I do wish, that they had done the, I suppose, the CD cover on the vinyl, because this is easily one of my least favorite album covers. But it has a cap of sorts, what do you call it? A sailor's hat. So this is Welcome to Wherever You Are by In Excess. Next up, Elton John. So I think I have all of Elton John's studio albums on CD. I only have one on vinyl, far as I can remember. And I've never been particularly interested in getting. No, actually, I'm missing one on the old CD there. Is there one called Jackets or something? It's silly expensive and long out of print, and doesn't seem like one of the records you want to revisit. But I have this one. This is Greatest Hits. Is this volume? Yeah, this is volume 1. And the reason I got this one is because this once belonged to my late sister, and she gave it to me many years ago. And she must have given this to me, I don't know, some time in the late 80s, I think. She passed away in I think it was 91. or very early 92, unfortunately. So this one is kind of dear to me. I have a couple of records that she gave me, and this is one of them. So while I mostly wear baseball caps, and because I like wearing them, and also because I'm very fond of baseball, the album covers will have to be the clever ones with all the fedoras and all the interesting types. I'm sure I do get a little hint of envy when I see some of the beautiful hats that Norman Maslov wears, and I sometimes think that if I wouldn't mind trying to be a bit of a dapper person sometimes, but yeah, I'm not. So I'll leave it to the people on the album covers, and I'd be surprised if anyone in the VC will show this record. This is Get Ahead by Curiosity Killed the Cat. And there's quite a nice hat there on the, what I sort of assumed was a Greek gentleman, perhaps. I'm not sure. Might be a Mexican or some Latin American. I should have researched. But if you look closely, you'll see that the band are there reflected in his sunglasses. So yeah, this was their second album. Not sure what happened to them after. I bought this back in the day. I was very fond of the first album. I think I bought the first album alongside the debut album of Swing Out Sister, and those two albums I thought was, what was I? was probably 13 or 14 at the time, and I felt this was very sophisticated and made me feel very adult, these records. Next up, not really a hat, but when you are a beautiful young lady and you're going swimming in the swimming pool and you've got your nicest swimming cozy on, then you need to wear something appropriate on your head as well. So this is, of course, Leisure, the debut album, the wonderful debut album by Blur. And I think that somehow the album cover is just as vivacious and full of life and exciting as the debut album was. And when this came out, I remember I grabbed the CD. I didn't know anything about them, or I had heard the second album, which I don't think a lot of people did, which I bought because it had a big choo-choo on it. So I can never quite remember the story there, but when everyone was screaming and going, oh, park life and all that, I said, but hey, hang on, I've been listening to this band for 2 albums now. I thought everyone knew about them or something like that. I felt very smug, probably. So yeah, wonderful debut album by Blur. In this album cover, we have 3 hats, but 4 people. There's always that one guy. So yeah, yeah. This is a Big Audio Dynamite. And Mick is wearing a hat. Look. It's just this guy who has to be, the difficult one. Oh, I don't want to wear a hat. Something like that. So, I don't know. The exact criteria for this might have been spent a long time ago. But, I don't know. Is this a hat? Is this a helmet? Is this a piece of her head? Or is it a her? Is it a she? And anyway, this is Asia with Astra. I always remember I was very fascinated by this album cover when I was young, but I never got the record because I didn't have a clue who they were, probably. Not that stopped me normally, but years later, when I got back into vinyl, I got this, which I think is a very nice record indeed. For this next one, I should probably put on my woolen hat again, but I won't. So this is David Sylvian, and this is Blemish. And this was definitely a vinyl community-inspired purchase. Not that David Sylvian was unfamiliar with him. For me, I have an old compilation album, and I did have 1 or 2, which I still do have Japan albums, but was this Norman Maslov? Could it have been Brian who inspired me to get this? And this is a very interesting listen, and every time I remember this album, I damn myself for not having listened to it a bit more. It reminds me a little bit of what is his name? Holly. The late singer-songwriter from Talk Talk's later stuff. Very atmospheric stuff. This is a record that disappointed me quite a lot. I listened to it like twice and I just can't get into it. Maybe I need to spend more time with it. I love Waterboys, and it's a band that I've listened to for more than 40 years. And beautiful album cover. Love the title and the idea of it. It just doesn't do much for me. But anyway, there's a cowboy hat on it. So this is Life, Death, and Dennis Hopper by the Waterboys. There we are. Very iconic looking. If nothing else, the album cover is really great in my opinion. Two hats, two non-hats. This is what is, generally mostly called the Red Album by Weezer. There we are, a man with this cowboy hat, and is that a fedora? I don't know. I'm not good with hat names. So, yeah. Next up is an album I've only had for about a month or a month and a half now. Not listened to it that many times yet. In my defense, I did get 4 or 5 albums by this guy in one go. So since I just made a video about it, I'll just show you this. This is Kimosabi, Dope Lemon. There's very much a hat there, isn't there? And making a return, second time in this video, Gorillaz. Love Gorillaz, and this is a Vinyl Me Please version of Demon Days. So I think I was sort of spending I had saved up a few bob for all my subscription, because there was like one title after another I wasn't interested in, and then I spent it on this one. This got a repress. I think this is I'm not sure if this is the original run they did or a repress, but the wonderful Demon Days there with, 3 hats at least. And speaking of Vinyl Me Please, and here are, on this record, the band, 2 of the members are wearing woolen hats and one isn't. This is Beastie Boys, one of my rarer hip-hop albums. Beastie Boys is sort of the exception. Those are where I do like hip-hop and rap in their guise. And this is Check Your Head, which is easily my favorite of their albums. And one that I jumped on getting on vinyl from Vinyl Me Please when that was an option. So, trying to wrap things up, we end up with that little bonus. Album covers with wigs. And, it's kind of is and kind of isn't. But anyway, and again, this is one of those records that my sister gave me. I got 2 Rolling Stones records in 1978. One when I turned 7 and one when Christmas that year. And I think this was the latter. So this is the Rolling Stones, Some Girls. There you got some wigs, sort of. But it's a wig advertisement in a way. So I think that's pretty cool. What, you want one more with wigs? Well, how about a doggy wearing a wig? So this is Mull Historical Society with Loss. And there's a doggy wearing a wig. Anyway, Midge, happy 1 year in the vinyl community. Looking forward to lots more videos about cool music. Do avoid those ladders. And I hope to see you guys soon in another video. Take care. Bye bye.